Hello, Squirrel Tribe. Happy hump day. My dudes, it is Wednesday, May the 22nd, and I want you guys to remember today, because today is the day where I am going to say there's going to be massive changes in our food supply, and not in a way that any of us want, and really only affecting two things. I'm going to say two things: chicken and eggs. I still don't know which came first, the egg or the chicken or the egg, whatever. I don't know why the chicken crossed the road. I don't know any of that stuff. What I do know is they are messing with our chickens, and now they're trying to scare us from eating eggs. This is not new. I feel like for the past 2 years, we've had so many conversations about chicken and about eggs that it's kind of getting redundant at this point, yet there's always something new. So although it may seem a hint redundant to talk chicken and eggs, we got new stuff to talk about today in regards to chicken and eggs. So Tyson, you guys know how I feel about Tyson. Not my favorite company out there. They've sold out to China. They have made a lot of changes. They've shut down a ton of chicken factories. Pretty sure that's what we're going with, chicken factories, because it's not chicken farms, it's chicken factories. They buy, Tyson Inc. buys its chickens and eggs from smaller farmers, and then they turn around and do what they got to do and sell them under their packaging, right? So Tyson, they've closed down a lot of different processing plants. Haha, there's the word. Processing plants in the last 24 months, last year or two. They've closed down a lot. People have lost their jobs. And a lot of these places are in smaller towns where when a plant closes, it literally affects the entire populace there, not just the people who worked there. But now you've got Tyson in the news again, because that's where they love to stay. Here's good old Tyson. Y'all see that? They're in the news one more time for Arkansas poultry farmers navigate canceled contract and bankruptcy fallout. I don't know if you guys remember this, if you saw it last year in August when we talked about the fact that Tyson was basically cutting its ties with half of, maybe not that many, but a large amount of their poultry farmers that had 2 years or less on their contract. Okay, so let's say you have 2 years on a contract and you're thinking to yourself, okay, I've got 2 more years. I got to make the best of this. I got to get as many sales, grow as many chickens, harvest as many eggs, whatever the right wording is there, as much as I can do in the next 2 years. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to look for new companies to sell to, because I, as a farmer, want to stay in business. I want my farm to continue running. I want my employees to continue being employed. And I want to continue doing what I love to do, farming of chickens and eggs, right? So you have these poultry farmers, specifically in Arkansas right now, who are having serious issues because they were expecting 2 years left on their contract. And then out of nowhere, Tyson said, now we're just going to go ahead and drop you. Think about that. Let's say just you and I at a 40-hour-a-week job. Let's say you're working some corporate job somewhere. You work 40 hours a week, and they tell you, hey, in 365 days, we're going to go out of business. Well, technically 2 years is, this is math, 730 days? That feels right math-wise. 365 times 2 feels like 730. You've got 730 days, and then we're closing our doors for good, and you're going to have to find a new job. And you think to yourself, all right, I have 730 days to save as much money as possible, pay off my bills, try to either learn some new skills or do something new to get a new job and whatever else. And 14 days later, they go, never mind, don't come into work on Monday, we're done. That is absolutely horrific in my opinion, because people are not prepared for that. When you tell somebody one thing and then completely blindside them and sweep the rug out from underneath them, that is not okay. And that's exactly what Tyson has done to a lot of farmers, but these in Arkansas specifically are the ones we're going to talk about right now. So according to this, the upheaval in the poultry industry in the last year has been enough to last many farmers a lifetime. And many non-farmers. I mean, just as consumers and people who purchase things, right? It's been the same issue for us. The cost of food going through the roof, fresh fruits and vegetables, and the meats in general, whether it's chicken or beef or even fish and things like that, pork, heaven forbid. The prices have gone absolutely crazy, right? Because of inflation. Now, according to this, some Northwest Arkansas farmers are scrambling in the wake of news from poultry companies like Tyson Foods, Inc. of Springdale and Cook's Venture of Decatur, which is in Benton County. Tyson, in the midst of a disastrous year in its poultry segment, announced in August last year, 2023, it would cut ties with any of its poultry farmers who had 2 years or less on their existing contract. Dozens of farmers in Carroll County were affected by the Tyson Foods news. Many hope to switch to other integrators, such as Cook's Venture. But get this, That option closed when Cook's Ventures stopped operations in November and filed for bankruptcy. So another, like a Tyson competitor, filed for bankruptcy. Tyson is dropping chicken farmers and things like that. I hope you understand where this is going, especially since we literally just talked about this last week, how Singapore is the first country to officially have cell-cultured, lab-grown chicken on their grocery store shelves. The chicken that is made here in the United States, in California, by Good Eats, the same ones who make the just eggs and stuff like that, the fake eggs we talked about. This is going to be a problem. I read this and my very first thought was, I called it, and I didn't want to, but I called it. I said, we're not going to have real chicken anymore. All you're going to have is that fake shit that they're, cooking up in some lab somewhere. That's going to be your only option. When some of the biggest chicken manufacturers are making drastic changes, they're dropping farmers, and other, wannabe big names are just saying screw it and filing bankruptcy and closing their doors. That does not bode well for you and I, consumers, who don't have the ability to have our own chickens, grow our own whatevers, right? Whether it be because of where you live, because of an HOA, because of lack of knowledge or skill, whatever reason there may be, right? Now, according to this other thing I came across, which I found extremely interesting. This is from something called pcrm.org, and I don't 100%, it's Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine, okay? Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine. I need you to hear that. Health concerns with eggs. And the reason I was looking this up is because I have put on like significant weight in the last year or two, and I haven't really changed a lot of the ways I've been eating, right, in a negative way. I've actually changed them for a better, and I've been going to the gym, but it doesn't seem like a lot is changing. And so I'm thinking, I'm having thyroid issues possibly. So I'm Googling today. I'm on the computer looking up a bunch of different stuff. I'm over on Instagram looking at certain things. I'm looking up stuff from Dr. Sebi. I think it's how you say his name, Sebi, S-E-B-I. And I'm trying to learn new things, right? And I came across this thing out of nowhere that's very concerning because it's back and forth. One that says if you have hyperthyroidism, you should eat eggs, but one that says if you have it, you shouldn't. If you have Hashimoto or whatever that's called, they say stay away from eggs. Whereas other things are saying no, eggs are good for you, but eat the egg whites. Everything is very contradictory that we can find these days because everybody has an agenda behind what they're pushing when it comes to what to eat, what not to eat, what medicine to take, what medicines not to take, the vitamins, the everything, right? Everything has some sort of agenda depending on who's going to benefit financially from it because, say it with me, y'all, profit over people. So when I came across this article from Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine, I immediately said to myself, grain of salt. Take whatever you're about to read with a grain of salt because we all know that there's generally a underlying reason for certain things that physicians may tell you, right? So this says health concerns with eggs. The fat and cholesterol found in eggs can harm heart health and lead to diabetes as well as prostate and colorectal cancers. Colorectal, very hard word to say. So we know that, too many eggs, they will tell you, is bad for your cholesterol, right? And then they'll tell you to go eat Cheerios to lower your cholesterol, even though Cheerios has what is that, glyphosate, whatever in there, which is absolutely friggin' awful for you. So again, who do you listen to? What do you believe? But I got down to this and they're talking about how eggs are horrible for you and they can cause heart disease and diabetes. And then I got to cancer. Eating eggs has been connected to developing certain types of cancer such as colon, rectal, and prostate. Then it says here, there's several reasons to consider eliminating eggs from your diet. And I start reading this and I'm like, are you kidding me right now? Like, what is it? Why is there such a push to stop eating eggs? Y'all remember that happened when the egg prices went through the friggin' roof last year before, over the summer, when there were all these poultry farms on fire and egg processing plants were on fire, and then the chicken flu or bird flu, I still call it chicken flu, bird flu came through and they killed millions upon millions of chickens, which I still never saw a single photographic or video shred of evidence of said killing of chickens. Just so we're all fully aware, they lied. It was all about bumping up the cost of stuff. Let's just go ahead and put that out there. And now, they're telling you don't eat the eggs. We hear that they're closing down all this chicken stuff at the same time that fake lab chicken is coming out, and the same company just happens to make fake eggs. So, it is of my personal opinion that the cost of chicken, regular chicken especially, is going to continue to go up. Cost of eggs will now start going up, especially because I saw over the last couple weeks how there have been avian flu, the bird flu, the chicken influenza. But what do they call it? Avian influenza at a lot of organic chicken farms. That's ironic that only the organic ones are being hit lately, because I buy only organic eggs, pasture-raised organic eggs, and I get all of my chicken from Butcher Box because it's organic, pasture-raised. Have not had any issues there with them, thankfully. Fingers crossed that they don't get hit with whatever this bird flu crap is. But I have noticed that it seems like we are back in where we were just a year ago, with the prices of chicken starting to tick up, the prices of eggs starting to tick up, the hardness of finding eggs and chicken sometimes starting to tick up. And it all goes hand in hand, in my personal opinion. I am not a farmer. I do not have my own chickens. I do not have, is it hens that lay eggs? Look, y'all know that I will tell you, I'll be the first one to tell you, I do not have a ton of knowledge on a lot of these different things, but I do know what I see and what I think and what does not make sense to me. And what does not make sense to me is that suddenly over the last 2 years, just chickens have become so incredibly difficult to raise and keep safe and sell and whatever else. At the exact same time, the FDA is approving fake, even though technically they're calling it real because it's cell culture lab grown chicken. The same time the FDA has approved that, and it is now in legitimate grocery stores, albeit in Singapore. But again, if it's over there, it will make its way here to your Winn-Dixie, to your Walmart, to your Publix, your Kroger, your Fred Meyer, your Albertsons, whatever else. It will not be long before it is there. And I can guarantee you they're going to say they need this cell cultured lab grown chicken, because if big corporations like Tyson are having such issue with getting chickens and keeping, farmers employed, we have to do this for the goodness and the safety and the health benefits of, our citizens and whoever else happens to be in our borders. So they're going to start pushing the cell cultured lab grown chicken. I guarantee you're going to see it either towards the end of this year or beginning of next year. It's not going to surprise me when it happens. What does surprise me is that a lot of this stuff is not talked about very often. It feels like it's one of those put it in a corner, don't talk about it kind of thing, and hopefully nobody notices what's going on. But you guys are going to know. A lot of you have your own farms, have your own chickens, have your own gardens for vegetables and fruits and stuff. So you probably are paying attention to what's happening. Like if you're going and trying to get chicken feed and there's an issue with it because they're like, oh, well, there's nobody around here with chickens anymore since Tyson closed and all the farmers are gone. We don't have chicken feed in the store. You're going to notice that. If you go to get seeds and you can't find seeds anywhere because everything's genetically modified now and everything's friggin' seedless, you're going to notice that too. Side note, I saw a video yesterday on, I don't know where I saw it. I don't remember if it was Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube. And it had to do with somebody who bought watermelon at Sam's Club in New York. Let me tell you, I Googled the crap out of this afterwards. They're showing this watermelon they cut in half, and they're trying to pull the watermelon, and it was bending like rubber. It was seedless watermelon, because how hard is it to find watermelon with seeds these days? Y'all know exactly what I'm saying. They scared everybody enough that if you ate watermelon and swallow the seeds, you're going to grow a tree or a watermelon and have to figure out how to get it out your butt, right? So then people were so excited about seedless watermelon. Now we have all these seedless things. We can't take care of ourselves because we can't keep the seeds and replant them and whatever else. Everything we're eating is genetically modified fruits and vegetables these days, not to mention all the meats. But anyway, so I see this video of this watermelon, and I think you guys can Google it. Maybe it was a TikTok video that moved over to YouTube Shorts or something. I don't 100% remember. All I remember is watching them trying to, you cut a watermelon in half and you start to do the slices, right? And they're trying to pull these slices apart, and they're literally like just rounded bending. What watermelon does that? Real watermelon does not do that. And I was like, oh, well, they've done and messed with the watermelons too. Like, where does it stop? When do they quit messing with our food? Stop touching the food. That's all I have to say. That's all I had to say about that. Anyway, so if you guys happen to be in Arkansas and you're having trouble finding chicken at your grocery stores, blame it on Tyson and blame it on Cook's Venture just closing their doors and going out of business. So it's just, it sucks for everybody. So this guy, Paul Wells, who's a poultry farmer in Green Forest, is starting over raising eggs after his integrator went out of business. So that's this guy here. Look, he looks like just your normal, good old red-blooded American guy, right? And it just sucks because the people who are being hurt the most, it's not the big corporations. They'll find new ways. Tyson has invested a lot of money into fake meat, a lot of money into fake foods, whether it's plant-based or, maybe they've put money into this cell cultured lab-grown chicken, but I know for a fact they've put money into plant-based stuff. Maybe they're trying to move over as well because all this, climate change, carbon footprint push from the administration. But it sucks because the people who get hurt the most are regular people like you and I, but the farmer version, So there's that. And chicken tastes weird lately. Doing that shit on purpose, I'm sure, so that when the cell cultured lab grown stuff comes out and it's supposed to be perfection, there's not going to be like tendons and weird tendons in it and, fat or, gristly pieces and whatever, then you're happier with it. It's all one big just design. It sucks. It really sucks. It really truly does. So that's that. Now the good news is, hold on, I'm trying to think of it. No, the good news is that there are still people out there who are, especially small farmers, that are growing their own things and selling within their community. So I would say, look for your local farmers. People say, go to the butcher to get your stuff. But even besides that, for your meats, look for local farmers. And if they have cows and they have pigs and they have whatever else, find other people you can go like halvesies or quarters with to get a whole animal and split it up. Go buy yourself a deep freezer. That's one of the best investments you will ever make, in my personal opinion, besides like a generator or whatever. But we have a deep freezer just to have stuff just in case before all the real stuff is gone and fake shit moves in. Go ahead and stock up on it, right? So that is the good news. At least there are still some smaller farmers who are trying. You have your Amish farmers, obviously, unless, when the FDA and USDA aren't going after them for whatever reasons. But that is still the silver lining. There are still people out there who are able to grow their own things and are doing their best to help their communities. So hopefully you have somebody like that in your community, or you are that person in your community. If you are, kudos. But that's it for right now. I have more stuff to bring to you guys maybe later today, probably tomorrow though. I hope you have a fabulous rest of your Wednesday, my dudes. I love you all immensely, and I'll see you later. Bye.